3 things to think independently about over the next 24 hours. Michael McLean, NoBullBook.com, BadassLetter.com, coming to you on a tremendous morning out at the lake. Horsepower, not horse shit. So, 3 things to sit independently. I like to sit with my journal on the end of that dock or on that boat. I like to also work in my vehicle when things are hectic here. For years, I've made myself a lunch and took the boat out in the middle of the lake. Sometimes I fix myself a lunch and hop in my truck and drive into somewhere, sit by the water, sit by the river, wherever it is, to get that time to think. So 3 things I want you to consider and think of independently, not what I think, what you think, not what some other guru or mentor or author or coach or consultant thinks, but what do you really think of these 3 things? So first of all, winning the morning. Winning the morning. How to own the morning. That is a question that you need to ask yourself. How can I win the first 3 to 5 hours of the day? How can I stop playing to lose, stop playing defense, and how can I play to win, start playing offense by winning the first 3 to 5 hours of each and every morning, 7 days a week, no days off. If you own your mornings, if you win your mornings, the rest of your life and business takes care of itself. I call it half-day discipline. Anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 hours working on your terms, getting the important things done, the 2 or 3 things that you need to do to move the needle. How can you better own your mornings, and how can you better get up and play offense instead of playing defense? I'll give you the 2 scenarios and how powerful this is. When I used to make $30,000 a year, I would wake up in the morning and I would check my phone or I'd check my email, and then I would react to whatever was in there, somebody else's agenda every single day. I woke up tired because I didn't get 8 hours sleep. I woke up and I didn't walk. I didn't do any of the things that I do now, and I was making $30,000 a year. My credit card was I could barely pay the minimum. I was driving a leased vehicle, and I was living in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment. I had 0 freedom. I had 0 money. I was, I wasn't in good physical shape. I wasn't in good mental shape. Every day I got up, I played defense. Every day I got up and I checked my phone, I checked my computer, and it was react. So I did the opposite. I lost every morning. And like most men that struggle, I lost control of my day in the first 10 minutes. Get up, check your phone, lose control of your day. And that's your magic time. Your magic time are those first 1 to 3 glorious hours. That's when you're at your absolute mental best. There's no question about it, whether you're a morning person or not. Studies prove that we are our absolute best for that 1 to 2 to 3 hours, and then it's gone. So that's your magic time that you need to protect. Nobody should ever be allowed to invade those first 3 glorious hours of the day. That's when you're going to write the most amazing copy. That's when you're going to have the best time walking. That's when you're your sharpest. That's when you're at your very best. And that's when you're going to do your deep work. I use those first 3 hours for my most important tasks of the day. The 1 or 2 things. That's when newsletters get written. That's when books get written. That's when important stuff gets done. So magic time and deep work in that first owning that morning. How can you better own and win your morning? Half-day discipline, I call it. Number 2, okay? Conquer the chaos of the afternoon. Business is chaotic. Anyone who preaches anything different is crazy. There are emails to respond to. There are texts to respond to. There are employee issues. There are vendor issues. There are prospect issues. There are client issues. Conquering the chaos is one of the all-time secrets. So once you've won your morning and you've used those 3 to 5 hours for time that brought you money, for your deep work, for your magic time, now at lunchtime and beyond, that's an opportunity when you're not at your best. You're not at your best. I'm not at my best after lunch. That's when I do my disposable work. That's when I answer emails. That's when I check my phone. That's when I do some light reading. That's when I return phone call after phone call after phone call. I don't even put the phone down. And I get the chaos done in the afternoon. And it's work that I can do that I don't have to be mentally at my best. So I've won the morning, but then around 12 noon after I have my lunch, I'm not at my best. I have a half-hour nap, and then I conquer the chaos. I return those emails, I send emails, I call Marc-Andre, I talk to Leanne, all these little things that need to be done in business. So that's the second question. How can you conquer the chaos of the afternoon? Chaos is normal in business. Like if you're the more successful your business is, the messier the kitchen is going to be. But make sure you clean up the messes in the kitchen in the afternoon. And don't ever use that. Don't ever use that time, your magic time. Don't ever use any of that deep work time to clean up the messy kitchen. So, thirdly, and this is a really good one, very important. Whether it's 5 p.m., whether it's 4 p.m., whether it's 6 p.m., every single night, family dinner at the table. We do this 7 days a week. It's just a habit. I shut it off at 3 p.m., but you may want to work till 5 p.m. or even 6 p.m. But just remember the third thing, the evenings. Your evenings are for time invested with the people that matter most to you. Your wife, your children, your grandchildren, good friends, your parents, whatever it is, whoever it is, it's really, really critical that the evenings are dedicated never to work. There's no reason to be work. If you use your magic time and you conquer your morning, if you own your mornings and you conquer the chaos in the afternoon, you can shut that phone off, put it away in the safe, and from 6 p.m. on, it is family time. Nothing else but family time connected. No technology, no laptops, no working. And you know what? That's the most evenings are to invest with the people that matter most to you. And that's different for every person. But T-I-M-E. How do you spell love? T-I-M-E. Very, very important. So ask yourself that third question. You can write it down in your journal. You can sit quietly and think, how can I invest more time with the people that matter most to me in my life in the evenings? And that's my day. Like I have guys say to me all the time, Michael, I'd like to buy a day of your time just to follow you around. Well, there's no need to, because you would die of boredom, because I have the same game plan. I run the same playbook. I have like 3 different days. And the day that I just gave you is all that you need to know and to sit quietly and ask those questions. So every single day is almost the same for me with no days off. I get up and I play offense. I conquer and win. I win and own my morning, the first 3 to 4 to 5 hours. Remember, when I didn't do any of this, I made $30,000 a year. I finally made the decision, okay, I'm gonna write for 1 hour per day, 60 minutes. I remember I did that years and years ago for the first time. I sat down, I put my hands on the keyboard, and I was like, what am I gonna write about? And I set a timer for 60 minutes. And it's, I mean, almost a decade and a half later, I still do it every single day. Well, guess what? As soon as I started dedicating just 1 hour per day, 7 days a week, to writing copy and working on the promotion and advertising and marketing, just working on something that brought me money, whether it was writing an email or a newsletter or a flyer or a postcard or a social media post, That year, $125,000 I made. I went from 30 grand, starving, couldn't pay my bills, to making all the money in the world I ever thought at 125,000 with 1 hour per day. 1 hour per day dedicated to owning my morning. 1 hour per day to winning my morning. Playing offense, I went from 30K to 125K. And here's where it gets really good. When I finally dedicate it to 3 hours, where the first 3 hours I walk, I read, and I write. When I dedicated that 3 hours of magic time of my deep work where nobody, absolutely unfuckwithable, non-negotiable, the first 3 hours of the day belong to me. I started with 1 hour, then I got to 2 hours and 3 hours, and now the first 5 hours of my day belong to me. Well, guess what? Over a couple of years of working, advancing from 1 hour per day, owning my time, to owning my morning, I went to 7 figures. I 10x'd my income by moving from 1 hour to 2 hours to 3 hours. And now I dedicate 5 hours every single morning. After I've done my 5 hours, my walking, my reading, my advertising, writing copy, by the time I've done my 3 to 4 to 5 hours work and I've hit noon, I'm good for the day. Then I can conquer the chaos in the afternoon. I'm ready to pick up my daughter at 3 o'clock and drive her home. There's nothing more to do. And then when I get home and we have dinner at 5 o'clock, I don't need to be working. I don't need to be checking my phone. I don't need to be doing any of that stuff because I conquered the chaos in the afternoon and I owned my morning. I did my deep work. I did my, I used my magic time. Those first 3 to 4 to 5 hours, if you play offense, if you shut out all distractions, if you refuse to check your phone for the first hour, if you refuse to check your phone for 2 hours, if you refuse to check your phone for the first 3 hours, or like I do for the first 5 hours, I'm sorry, but you're absolutely going to be 10xing your income. You're going to be 10xing your relationships. You're going to be 10xing your health, the whole deal. Own the morning, half-day discipline. So those are the 3 questions to ask yourself. How can I win the morning? I'll tell you the secret is no technology. That's the secret. Lock that phone away and leave it locked away. Secondly, how can you conquer the chaos? How can you move everything to the afternoon? If I have to go to a dentist appointment, my wife, Krista, she's always like, everything I do is in the afternoon. So nobody touches my morning. If I have to go to the dentist or I have to go to the doctor or if I have to get a haircut, that's all PM stuff. And then in the evenings, I mean, that's all family time. Like, I don't book anything that ever goes near a meal. Like, tonight I'm playing tennis at 7 o'clock. The reason I'm playing tennis at 7 is that allows us to sit down as a family for an hour before. So that's the way you want to structure your day. And that third question, how can you spend even more time, invest even more time with the people that matter most to you? That's it. Those are the 3 those are the 3 questions that every businessman needs to be asking himself every week, journaling, writing down how you can improve. Just a mention here, my brand new mastermind, 5-star Champions Mastermind is coming up this September. We're into August now, a brand new month. If you're interested in applying, go to badasschampion.com. This is the big league of masterminds. This is not for amateurs or pretenders or anything like that. This is the big leagues. If you're looking to punch above your weight in all areas, if you're looking to 5x your income, 10x your income, if you're looking to get your marriage back on track, your relationship with your children, if you're looking to get in the best physical and mental shape of your life, you need to take a serious look at being around serious people. Admittedly, hard coaching like this is not for everybody. I'm going to be in your ear every single week. We have 2 live events that are going to be in Naples. I mean, you're not going to recognize yourself. If you do the work in 12 months, you won't recognize yourself. You won't recognize your marriage. You won't recognize your relationship with your children. You won't recognize your marketing and advertising. You won't recognize your physical or mental health. And I'll tell you right now, if you do the work with me for the next 12 months and you do the work with the accountability of your 14 other brothers, just the power of association, just say that, you know, it wakes that. If you're a sleeping giant, I mean, I'm going to be mentally kicking you in the pants for the next 52 weeks. You're not going to recognize your bank account either. You're not going to recognize your bank account. The $50,000 is a drop in the bucket when you 2x, 5x, or 10x your income. Like, who cares what something costs if you get a return on investment? I've never, ever thought like that. I'm like, you know what? I don't care what the price is. Like, I'm in a mastermind that's $150,000. But what difference does it make if the return on investment is 2x, 5x, 10x, 25x? What difference does it make if you have an investment mindset? So I'm saying to you, you know, $50,000 to spend a year with 14 other badass millionaires right off the bat, you're just going to elevate your social circle beyond belief. You're going to make money and you're going to grow as a person by being around champions. It's that simple. You're going to grow as a businessman to person by having me hold you accountable for the next 52 weeks. So if you're serious and you've got an abundance mindset, none of this scarcity stuff, if you've got that investment abundance mindset, then apply at BadassChampion.com. That's it. Do what I do. Remember to hug your kids and hug your wife and tell them how much they mean to you. There's never been a better time to be alive than 2022. We are awash in wealth, abundance, and opportunity only if you have the right mindset and you have that attitude of gratitude. But man, oh man, there has never been a better time to be alive. And make sure that we're always telling the people that mean the most to us, our husband, our wives, and our children, how much we love them every single day. Most important thing you can do as a badass millionaire king. That's it. 2 words that change my life, 2 words that can change yours. Be relentless.